Okay, we're on the internet. Hi, internet. We're super late
Hi,
because
hi,
Windows
internet.
Update is a bitch.
Yeah.
Woof. Windows, thanks. Anyway, we have a new player joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Shadow no longer has to watch and is now involved.
She has,
Yes.
Yeah, say
she
hi.
has become one
Say
of
hi,
us.
Shadow.
Hello, Internet.
Hey.
All right, so, to pick up where we left off, we are coming off of a year-long time skip wherein the party all did their own things. Laffy and Mist went off and became demon hunters. Ren did some really stupid stuff, involving a wish spell.
And
As she
some
do.
really good stuff. She
Yeah.
helped me build our board,
Yeah,
hero
okay.
and stuff.
Yeah, and then Bran went on a myriad of adventures that have still gone untold, but sure enough, the bard will come up with something. Um, so the party was reunited when their friend Aurelian sent out a call to each of them, telling them he misses them.
None
They
of them
all-
believed him.
Yeah, they all knew this was a bit of a ploy. So they went to go see what the hell he
They felt
wanted.
it
Yeah. And he did miss them, but he also had a task for them, as they all imagined.
No one was surprised.
Recently, the northeastern desert called the Brio Desert has become traversable. Previously, anyone who entered kind of never came back, and nowadays it seems to not be the case. Not many adventurers have gone through yet, but a handful of explorers that have gone and come back have said that it seems like there are temples within that desert. Aurelian, being the purveyor of religious artifacts that he seems to be, has tasked the party with going into the desert to see what the hell's up. So, they went back to Lyriel after a lengthy discussion about backup water.
Hey, look, water's really important.
Look, man, it was important, okay?
I
Was
mean,
it?
Yes, it was.
we'll
It was
see,
super-
won't we?
Yeah.
So after that, they had their discussion about backup water. They then traveled from Sigil Watch to the Brio Desert, where they came upon a caravan of individuals preparing to go into the desert. One of the men introduced himself, and offered to travel with the party if they decided to come along with this caravan into the desert, safety in numbers. They all agreed to travel with him, and then they bedded down for the night inside of Laffy's magnificent mansion, which is just the spell.
Sorry.
And upon waking the next morning, you guys all head out of the mansion and stare into the desert that looms in front of you. Just wide, rolling sands,
So much sand.
sand
Big
and
sand.
jagged rocks everywhere.
Look at
It's
that little dude.
it is a desolate landscape that stands in front of you. It is immediately unwelcoming to look at. You guys
This is very unwelcoming to look at.
Ooh, Ren, it's getting kind of hot. Perhaps you should drink some water.
I'm really
Brandon takes a
thirsty.
long drink from his water skin. What's that? I was too busy drinking my water.
Oh, just drink it up. We have plenty.
Oh, I know. We made sure.
You know, we may need that backup water. and Ren just looked like she takes one look at Laffy's face and she just loses it.
Fluffy's mouth is like a turned around uppercase C.
wow.
You can't get much angrier than that.
Yeah. That's just upset. So while you guys are out being you guys, a young boy from the caravan, not the same one that you guys met last night, he walks up and he looks at you guys. He is a child. Looks to be about like 10 years old maybe. And Laffy, he's just a little bit taller than you.
Oh,
Um,
that's a tall child.
Bran notices this and kind of giggles to himself.
And he looks at you guys and, are you the adventurers that's coming with us?
I think we are.
Yes. Aren't you a
Fantastic.
little young to be frolicking in the desert?
Oh no. Then he just leaves and over his shoulder just says, Papa
okay,
says he'd like to speak to you before we leave.
Well, I suppose we'll have to go find Papa then, won't we?
I mean, one of you can.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
Who?
think that's.
You know, could you tell us who that is?
He's largely out of sight.
I'm
Well,
pretty
it's
sure
useful.
it's the guy who was leading the caravan. I mean, that just makes the
I mean-
most sense.
Well,
I believe it.
we can find him and ask him.
He had the same posh accent, so Luffy goes and finds the guy.
Okay, yeah, he's easily found, and he just, oh, fantastic. You're coming with us then.
So, seems that way.
We weren't sure if you were coming. Well, we're setting off in about 5 minutes. We're settling a few things with our medic, I think is what she calls herself.
Oh.
Magic.
Our medic is a dog.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
He just looks down at Saint. Saint wags his tail and,
Luffy's like, Saint, say hello.
Saint Borse.
Luffy is
throughout the desert.
immediately pleased.
He just, well, our medic is a young girl, young woman. Same difference. I think we came out on top.
I don't know
Okay.
about that. You haven't exactly seen what this dog's capable of.
Dude, Ren gives him that look like, is that a challenge? Like, are you?
Luffy looks at Ren and she's like, Ren, break my leg right now.
Bran gives Luffy this very disapproving look.
Never mind.
Luffy, you can't do that thing, can you? Don't just
Let's
stress
look,
out saying
look,
too much.
Look, let's not. All right, let's not do the whole breaking off a body part and turning it into.
We'll let the desert determine who's the better healer.
The man is just kind of staring at you guys aghast.
I'm sorry, they're weird. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about.
I'm
You
just-
were talking to.
I'm just glad I'm not paying you.
Who's paying us?
I thought you said you were heading this way anyway.
I thought we were getting paid. Bran looks back at the others.
We specifically said we'll accompany them for as long as they're going the same way, so
Oh,
that we
well.
don't get paid
All right then.
and aren't beholden.
That's how we're
to
doing
them.
this.
However, I do get to write down everything that's found. That's important.
Well, I mean,
Quite.
you were going to do that either way. Let's be honest.
True.
Well, now you don't have to be secretive about it.
Either way, but is there any trouble or?
Oh, it's the
Should we
desert.
just be
There's always
waiting?
trouble. Oh,
Oh no, I
here?
meant
No.
Yeah.
In fact, he looks over his shoulder and he spies a young woman and he points to her. And, Nenia, was it? Speak to our new companions. Say hello. I think you will be working together a lot, considering they look like the magical types and you are the type that can keep people alive. And well, I'm going to go do whatever. And he flounces
Okay,
off.
bye.
Oh.
he's
I
just
get
as
the,
eloquent as we are.
I get the feeling he didn't like us very much.
It's not like we're in the business of being liked very much.
Luffy
True.
and her skull face just are looking at Enya.
Yeah.
Then turns begins sizing Nenia up.
Yeah, Mister's probably
Like-
floating.
How is Luffy's skull mask attached to her face? Like, is it like a string or?
There's like a string, but she's wearing a hood, so she just looks
Bran,
like
like,
a skull face.
Bran walks over and slowly like reaches his hand and just slowly like lifts the skull mask.
Oh man!
That
Be
is
polite.
very
Stop
rude,
that.
man.
Luffy's face, by the way, the entire top half of her face is just painted over in black. So like,
You really got
She's-
into the whole demon slayer thing, didn't you?
I think
Yeah,
she
she
looks
looks
nice.
just- She looks just as terrible. Like,
Bran turns back to Nydia. I'm sorry, they're not as. No, they're exactly as weird as they look.
All the while, I think she's been gawking because she needs to do. While she's like taking in supplies, checking on everyone, making sure things are good to go, and just is staring at them and talking at the other guy and back to them. Speechless.
Bren's still
like-
silently sizing her up like this kid thinks she's better than our dog. I don't think so.
Oh my god!
Bran leans into Rin's ear. Not exactly a Tolka, is she?
Mist goes over to Nenny.
I mean, I suppose she's got that in common with Saint. The middle ground there.
But is she as good a boy as Saint?
I think she's at a disadvantage.
Slightly.
Can I help you both?
Yeah, Mist went over there and she's like, greetings. I guess we were told to meet with you. Is everything all right? We heard that there was some trouble. Well, not necessarily trouble, but something
It's a
to be
desert.
sorted
Apparently, there's trouble all over.
Laufey kind of appears from behind Nenia, and she's like, no, she's too close. And she's like, we're gonna be traveling together. What's your name?
We already know her name if you were listening.
I wasn't listening. What's your name?
Nadia probably jumps away from Luffy and, depending on where Mist is, maybe bump into Mist. They get flustered and step back like, my name is Nadia. Gracious, you snuck up on me.
Luffy,
Yeah,
don't
you
sneak
know,
up on her.
Sorry, I just, you know.
alright.
She does that way too familiar with people she doesn't know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're traveling together?
Yes, apparently.
Supposedly.
Mm.
I guess we're unhired fighters for this, and I'm gonna be recording everything.
Not exactly
yeah.
too happy about the unhired part, but
Well,
You have a
you
killer man?
just asking people that immediately.
Laufey, have you taken any sort of vacation for the past year? You seem
mean,
a little bit
killing-
intense.
Demons
What's a
is kind of,
vacation?
you know, fair.
Laufey looks like she sincerely doesn't know, like she's not being sarcastic.
And Mist tells her with telepathy that it's like vacation is like a break from everything.
I'm going to hope that Nenia was included in that telepathy.
I
Just
mean,
everyone.
maybe she just wasn't thinking and just projected out to everybody.
Please, don't say maybe, say yes.
She did it. She did it. She wasn't thinking. She's too used to talking to them, like to Laufey through it, like the entire time they were killing demons. So
Ugh.
everyone just heard a weird thing in their head.
Oh, okay. What was that? And she like double takes to Mist and like holds her head. And it's just. I'm sorry. she can
Don't
do a
worry.
lot here.
She can talk to your
does that.
brain.
Oh, that's weird, right? I'm sorry.
A little. No, it's alright. It's alright.
You can say it's all right. It's okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
You know, I was actually distracting you from what you're doing. I'm so sorry.
No, it's alright.
What are we doing?
Can I rephrase my question?
No.
I say yes because questions are important.
Bran said that really firmly, and now I feel like I shouldn't.
Do it anyway. You
No,
can't
I
tell
don't
you what
want
to do? Well, fine. If you don't want to.
Bran's just worried that the question's going to be rephrased even worse.
Nadia warily looks at Luffy, just patiently, small smile.
Oh my god, this
Okay,
poor
just like-
baby.
You look like you have the face of a small baby deer, and I am just wondering why you are in the desert.
Oh, thank thank you, I think. Well, I'm here to help. They look like they were in need of somebody who might be able to patch them up on their trip. I mean, they don't look like much of fighters themselves, and we're picking up bodyguards along the way too, so.
Well,
Here
you
I am.
possibly just found the best bodyguards in the entire plane.
Oh.
We're only gonna disappoint her. It's all downhill from
Oh,
here
I-
with that statement.
No,
Well,
no.
maybe it'll motivate you to live up to her expectations.
Sure, you're fine.
I mean, we did save the world.
Please
We are
don't
in
say
time.
that. It makes us sound like crazy people.
Whatever happened to
I
my
mean-
statue, by the way?
I don't know, you wanted it in sigil, did you not?
No, I wanted it here. So good in sigil.
I'm pretty sure it's in the process of being built from marble in, Ardor, but you got to, import the marble from not Ardor, so it's been a really slow process.
Anyway.
Well, whatever, I've got plenty of time.
The gentleman at this point walks over and, Nenia, dear, are you ready to go? We are worried about you. You are so
Oh, of course, I was just making sure supplies were in order, and
good.
I think we're all good here.
Good. I see you are
Worried
making.
about her because she was chatting.
No, she is the one to keep us all alive, and thus I want to make sure she has everything good. Now we leave.
Hmm.
Hey, if we do our jobs, you'll stay alive too. Well, actually, you're not paying us,
We're
so
not.
never mind.
Yeah, we're not being paid for this, so
That's
mean-
not our job.
We would appreciate your help.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I'm just
I mean, if
dreadfully
a
curious what
Sandworm explodes out of the dunes and starts attacking us. I mean, we're here,
what
so we might as
the
well
fuck
kill.
is a sandworm?
what's a sandworm? I want to see one.
Think
Are we
of
going
it
to
like a
see one?
think of it like a worm, only it's big enough to swallow you whole without much effort, and it lives under the sand.
Oh,
Wait, so like that purple thing that we saw, on the gates.
Bigger.
Only oh. But that purple thing almost swallowed me whole.
okay,
Well, that was
but,
your own fault.
but would the tentacle
Rude.
void be able to swallow it whole? That's the question.
You know, that's a question I'm not really sure I want to see the answer to. How
I
about we just
do.
have the caravan movie?
We're making a really bad first impression.
Don't we always?
I mean, we're not really here. We're not really about first impressions. We're about lasting impressions.
I suppose.
Well, we definitely need one of those.
Emphasis on last. But anyway,
Yeah, we're going, right?
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Excellent.
Right into the desert, huh? And the
Let's
guy
go,
sort of
let's-
he flounces off, and there's a rather large group of wagons with like coverings over them, and there's a few horses. A few of them seem like they're being pulled by magic. The horses look very uncomfortable. There's even a camel. It really looks like these people don't know exactly what they're getting into, and the desert ahead of you guys, it is fairly rocky at this point. It's not all sand. It's still like, turning from mountainous terrain into desert. So the caravan starts rocking through, heading off. There are 8 wagons. And 2 of them look like they are mostly laden down with supplies, while the other ones look like they are essentially there for like people to sleep and live in.
At a glance, do they actually have like guards other than us, or?
Make a perception check.
I
Okay.
thought they had people. I thought there were like 8 other people. That's a misthrow down, man.
Make your perception check.
I'll make that perception check. A 10.
That's not as bad as it could be.
You're.
Couldn't
I
be
mean,
worse.
there are objectively people.
It's always the person with the worst perception trying to do perception checks.
It's great.
I mean,
That's
she did.
why.
I mean, you'd think it would be obvious if there were people in like armor or carrying weapons.
There are definitely people.
Okay.
Thanks. That's a very vague statement.
Friend looks at the rest of their group and she's like, okay, so me and Laffy are gonna scout ahead, and you
Yeah, we are.
and Mist and Bran are gonna take positions on either side of the
Alright.
midsection.
Bran, I have a thing for you.
What about the wallflower over there? He points at Nydia.
Well, I'm not in charge of her.
She can do what she
She
likes.
can do what she likes.
Yeah. Mist takes out a thing and hands it to Bran, and it's an emblem. I guess maybe it has like wings on it, like a Pegasus or something. I don't fucking know, but it's the communication thingy.
Bran kind of stares at it and kind of like pokes it a little bit. Cool,
Yeah, Mist's like, you can use that to talk with us.
Handy.
Yeah.
And Mist set facing at the rear of the column.
All right. Mist just glances at Vathan, and Vathan caws and flies off.
Fluffy has already walked away, and she says into her communicator, "We should have shaved Saint. That way he was like an optimal doggy temperature." And that's like all she says.
Mist is just like, we can do that next time we're in the mansion, right?
I'm pretty sure that dogs have their own, system for that.
To be fair, it is very hot.
Meanwhile, Saint is just kind of standing in front of you, Nenya, staring. Like, unblinking dog stare.
Well, she was trying to pay attention to the conversation. It doesn't want to butt in. And will fidget with her cuff, but is also distracted by the giant dog in front of her. And,
I think he likes you.
Oh, does he? Hi, what's his name? What's your name?
Saint.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask for your names.
Oh, well,
Oh, okay. Oh, fine.
well, they're rude sometimes, and the dog is Saint. He's a good boy.
He barks and wags his tail.
He's a healer.
Yeah, he's really good at
Oh.
it.
He kind of... You see him, like, do, like, this weird dog shrug, and you don't really know what it means, but he does it.
They called me Mist, though my name is somewhat different.
Oh, Miss Sun.
I've known her for a while now, and I have no idea how to even spell it.
Perfect. That's half of the point.
I digress. I'm Brannon, probably the most unalarming one here out of this
I
group.
don't know about that.
I won't say. Oh, I won't say anything. I'm sure you're all wonderful. You're helping us, so.
The grumpy
Not
one
bad.
that stormed off is Ren's wiener. Don't worry about her.
All right.
Ren says into her communicator, "I'm not grumpy."
You are the grumpiest, dear.
Why is that title not going to Laffy?
I'm not grumpy, I'm abrasive.
Yeah, that's what.
The one with the skull mask is Lafayette.
She's intense looking, but not. No, she's just as intense as she looks. Never mind.
It's
Oh, no.
wonderful, honestly.
She's nodding, taking this in, and like holds her hand out. She can have pets from Saint. And...
Saint leans into your hand and is just like, yeah, pets. Yeah.
She'll kneel down, scritchy behind the ears.
He gives you a nasty doggy kiss.
Oh, gracious. Thank you.
The new
She'll
friend.
stand, pat off her knees.
Saint just
You two are gonna get along good, it seems.
he turns to face you guys, like, standing next to Nenya. Like, he's saying, like, this is my person now.
Oh,
Miss-
Laffy's gonna be so
Yeah, Mist looks at.
insulted.
Yeah. Mist,
Luffy
Mist
turns
looks at Saint and
around.
it's like, Luffy's not.
Luffy turns around from the front of the caravan and she sees this happening. And like, imagine if you will,
Oh dear.
Yeah, oh boy.
a panned out view of Luffy's silhouette, and gradually in increments the camera moves closer and closer until it's up at her eyes and they just squint.
Oh no, she didn't.
So yeah, the caravan's starting to wobble off. And before too long, you guys have to start moving to keep up. Where's my music? Where's my music? There it
Well,
is.
Ren and Laffy are taking the head so they can scout ahead.
Okay. Does it still go? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Ren and Laffy, you guys head on ahead. You're making sure to keep the caravan in sight behind you, but you're staying a respectable distance ahead. While you're going, it is objectively a desert. It's hot. Neither of you are terribly prepared to be in this terrain. Laffy, you're able to make the best of it because you are skilled in all sorts of travel and you're also really small. But Ren, you are having trouble moving. Just like every few steps, you kind of sink in a few inches.
Fluffy points and laughs.
Ren, let's see if Ren can do anything to adapt. Probably not. I mean, she can acrobatics her way out of it, but
She's doing her best.
I mean, you'd have to consistently do acrobatics to...
through the sand, in the desert.
she's gonna use her blind sense to sense the sturdiest places in the ground around her to use to step.
Okay. Yeah, so Ren, you do some freaky shit. And suddenly you're walking sort of like Laffy is. You're very clearly picking out certain footings. But where Laffy is sort of doing it, you're looking. Like it is
she's concentrating.
Yeah, it is an active effort on your part where Laffy is just sort of like skipping.
She got this.
Can I make a lizard check?
A lizard check?
Yeah,
Looking for lizards, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, make a nature
She
check.
needs to eat the lizard.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay.
I rolled a
Oh
one.
my god!
There's a lot of sand, and it's coarse, and it's getting everywhere.
Shit.
And here I thought we were gonna go the whole.
No.
No.
Sorry, I had to cut that one off at the pass. But yeah, you're heading through like a valley right now. Again, like it is a mix of rocky terrain and desert. You're not quite into the expansive, empty desert yet, but ahead of you can see that it's looming. It's just this bright, pale sort of light that's constantly shimmering in the distance. On either side of you are these giant canyon walls that look like they've been worn down by time. The walls are very, very smooth. And...
Are they in like a circular sort of pattern like it is in the picture? Or are they just, whatever?
This is just sort of whatever. This is just a desert
Alright.
picture. This is how it winds up looking, but right now the passageway that you're going through, kind of like the main entryway into the, okay. Yeah, the main entryway into the desert is this, basically. So you guys are heading along. Laffy, you are keeping an eye out, but as of right now, there's not much to really look at other than what's in front of you. There's still like the really high cliffs. Yeah, and we go back to the caravan, and it's a little chatty. The people there seem a little excited to go on this adventure, and maybe a little naive about it.
Yeah. Mist is actually back there, and I guess she's probably been talking with Nenia, and at some point she just started floating and was like, and asked Nenia if she wanted to hold the baby leash.
No context. Just you hold
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, just hold. Would you want to hold this? And then she just started floating, and he would be dragging her.
It's fine. I'm sure she's keeping with the caravan, kind of keeping to herself and entertaining conversation with Mist and confused by the baby leash.
Yeah, and Miss just like floats, then like out of nowhere just starts levitating and like the baby leash is obviously kind of pulling her along. She just cracks up and is looking at Nedia's reaction.
That's really impressive.
Wow, that's. Wow, most people react with, what the hell?
You are incredibly accepting of my oddity. Usually
That's
Sane
good.
likes me to carry him while I'm doing this.
Oh, maybe he wants that now. I'm sure
Might
she's
need
been
that.
like... Oh, go ahead.
Ramsey's gonna say, you might need that open mind.
Probably. Poor Nedia, oh my god.
Yeah, no, Saint's trotting along at everyone's side, like he's just happy to be here.
Ram probably
And-
gives him and sneaks him a little bit of water.
He's like,
He's
yeah,
a big fluffy dog. It's probably hot.
yeah.
Yeah?
He's panting pretty heavily. But he doesn't look like miserable. He's just kind of like, this is an extreme walkie.
Yeah.
This is high advanced level walkies.
Yeah. Occasionally he's wandering over to the edges of the canyon and like sticking his nose up against the rocks and snuffling loudly.
Yeah, Miss looks to Nenia and she's just like, have you worked with these people before? Like, do you know them?
Well, I haven't been traveling with them long. I'm a bit of a traveler myself, and, well, saw that they were in need, and I thought I'd come along. Didn't seem
So-
to have any healers.
So you just passed them by and decided to go with them, kind of like we did.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, that's what we did, so...
Yeah.
They don't seem to know entirely what they're getting into. I mean, they seem excited, which is
I
great,
mean,
but...
to be fair, most of the people
Yeah.
on this plane don't seem to know what they're getting into in general.
Well, maybe. Probably.
Do you remember Steelhorn?
Okay, but listen, we don't... to my knowledge, well, maybe it was a recurring thing, but not in a long time where they're like weird demon invasions and all of that.
I
From the
suppose.
front of the caravan, Luffy just looks up.
Well, may I ask, what it is you're out here for? I know
Oh.
it's helping us.
A friend of ours sent us out here.
Friend.
Friend. A
Uh,
friend whenever he wants us to do something for him. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he's a friend. That's what he is.
But along with that, I know that I personally am dreadfully curious. Have you heard about the temples and such that have been out here?
well, I was word around the caravan, that's why they're out here making me look around. And, well, it sounds interesting that they're supposedly coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah, right? Well-
Yeah.
We encountered one before and we didn't know how to open it, but we might have a solution for that. So I'm curious to see what's inside.
Apparently, if I poke it with my sword, Brand taps the hilt of the outsider's blade, the door will open. Or
So we've
something.
got some sort of advantage. I don't think anyone else knows that we have this, though. So I'm honestly curious to see what they're going to do to open these things.
Suppose that would be a curious thing, and it's fate that you'd be out here.
Yeah.
Can I make a perception check to see if Luffy can hear that Bran and Mist are just spilling important secrets?
Yeah,
They
sure.
don't want- they
Sure.
like Denny.
Sure, make a perception check.
9.
Nah,
I rolled a 1 and then I rolled
you
a
you
2.
look back and you see Saint is sniffing along the walls, and that's all you see.
He was like, oh, what a good boy. And then goes back to doing whatever.
A young man, like probably like I don't know, 13, walks up to you, Nenny, and goes, "Ma'am, my stomach hurts."
Well, what did you eat?
I, I, I ate
Have you had
lamb.
water?
What? Yes, I was hoping you'd have some herbs to help me. And he winks.
No.
Miss tilts her head.
The wink
What
really
kind
confuses her.
What kind of herbs are you talking about here?
Uh, the sort to help my stomach. He winks.
Mist squints.
Well, I have none on me. If your stomach's hurting for a bit, maybe you can hop on a caravan or a wagon
Go drink some
and
water.
rest for a little bit.
Look, man, I don't think she's that kind of doctor.
What?
He huffs and just walks off and hops into one of the wagons and
Oh my
crosses his
God.
arm and visibly pouts.
At that, Bran pulls out like a small pipe
Oh my god.
and just and pulls out a small match and lights whatever mix of herbs he's got in his pipe and just starts smoking.
Her mouth forms an O, and she just rubs her forehead, like takes a glance at the kid. Like, too young.
He didn't take his dare classes.
God.
Bran did, he just doesn't give a shit.
God.
Okay, so about now is when Laffy and Ren, you guys in particular, everyone's been walking for about 20-30 minutes now. And you two are breaching the edge of the canyon, and out before you, the desert just opens up. It is, at this point, your stereotypical desert where, as far as you can see, it's just wide open sand with dunes rolling. You see occasionally like this scraggly plant, or it's what you think is a scraggly plant. It's just kind of this weird brown blur against more brown.
Well, and Ren like crosses her arms and looks at the horizon. Should make it easy to find any structures. And she like squints at the horizon. I see none now, but
Laffy squints at the horizon because she wants to actually see if she can see anything on it.
Alright, make a perception check.
Well, let's hope I roll better than a fucking 3.
Yeah.
18.
Hey,
There you go.
you really just see more horizon out in front of you. You do have a general sense of like direction, and you do remember overhearing that the destination is to the slight northeast. It's eventually going to curve north. So you have a general idea of the direction you're supposed to go, and you're supposed to be looking, but right now you don't really see anything.
Laffy looks at Ren and she's like, I don't see fuck.
it's a lot of sand.
It's just nothing.
Yeah, Mist comes on the thing. She's like, "Do you see anything?"
Laffy goes on her communicator and she says, I don't see fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there's nothing out here. It's just sand. And
You know what?
it's hot, I think.
Sand and discontent.
Mist floats up a bit higher, and she's using Eldritch Sight to see if she can see anything magical across the desert.
You do. You don't
Shit.
see anyone like source of magic, but as you float up and look around, there does seem to be like this magical like fog, a few feet off of the sand.
Is it like, is it where they are? Or is
Oh
it...
yeah, it's all across the desert.
Oh, yeah, Mist.
It's like a layer
blinks.
of sand that's a few feet above the sand.
Huh. Mist blinks and kind of tilts her head and then uses the communicator and is like, well, to everybody, and it's just like, there seems to be an odd sort of magical layer of fog over the sand, and we're in it. You know, whatever's out here might be hidden from us.
I mean, didn't this desert just kind of pop out of nowhere in the last year?
No, it's been here. It's just people haven't come back. When they
So
went
what you're
out there.
saying is
We're
we have a
walking.
horizon of endless sand, and everything that could be here is actually concealed with an illusion of some variety.
You know what? I can actually possibly see through that. Hold on a moment. Mist. She looks at her tentacle arm, and they probably come out and do their thing, and she's using see invisibility.
Okay. You don't see anything. Like you see everything, but nothing out of the ordinary is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. She's like, well, nothing is concealed invisibly or, ethereal or anything like that. So I don't know.
So we're just going to
All right.
continue wandering until we come across something.
I
Hang on.
guess.
Time for a test. And Ren summons her horse.
Okay.
Luffy looks at Ren, and like Luffy's face just says, "What the fuck?"
Let's see how far I can go before I, fade out of sight. Maybe
Wait,
it'll-
wait. Can I ride on that too?
Okay. Maybe.
It's an illusion.
Spellbot. Hang on. Oops. That's not. Hang on. What the fuck is it called?
Spellbot's not responding to my plea.
Oh my god.
That's what
It's
Spectral
wrong
Mount.
all the time.
Phantom. Sorry, I put Phantasmal. It's Phantom Steed. There we go. You or a creature you choose can ride the steed.
Luffy tries to get on the steed before Ren can give her permission.
It says you or though.
Yeah.
I'm
Ren
gonna
allows
say
it.
that like if you can go ahead and modify the spell to allow 2 people.
Okay.
Yeah, just for
Cool.
the sake of it.
All right. Ren stares at Luffy and is like, "You know, it's not gonna go anywhere without me on it, right? It's not just." And she's like gesturing with her.
Luffy is sitting on the horse,
Yeah.
just looking at Ren like, "What are you doing? Get on
Yeah,
the horse."
Mist
Ren-
says through the thing,
Yes,
aren't you
on the
doing
horse.
an experiment?
Yeah, see how far we can go before we, you lose sight of us, and if there's anything weird about it.
Please scream into the communicator if you run into something trying to kill you.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Bag my son down, by the way.
Nenia, make a history check for me.
Okay. My first roll. Oh boy.
First roll.
Yep.
Hey.
Yep.
Roll a 120.
Yeah, 1d20 plus your what is it? Intelligence modifier.
No, a history check is a skill though.
It's just intelligence unless you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Efficient.
Oh, okay.
So 1d20 with
Oh no.
All right. You're like, I think I remember something, but then you're just distracted by these idiots.
Fair.
They're distracted, staring and gawking. Who are they talking to? Is there a horse out there? What's going on?
Yeah.
If you get distressed, just let me know and I'll fly out there and get you, alright?
Yeah,
You
sure.
can fly
too?
out there. I didn't
I
know you
mean-
could fly.
I mean, I can't fly. Or can I?
I can.
You
Ren-
can
Ren
float,
kicks the
but
horse
can you
into
really...
gear.
I can't remember I cast fly on all of us. We were all flying before.
You know, that was a really stressful moment. I don't really remember much about that.
Fair.
There's a lot going on.
Anyway, but I mean, I could see for a long time if you guys are planning on going out there, indefinitely in some direction on the horse.
All right, we'll go for like 100 feet and then come back.
What
Luffy,
So
I'm
I
counting
just
on you to not
tell
get her
you-
lost.
if anything's weird? All right, okay.
Yeah.
I never get lost. We'll be fine.
It's a good thing you're going with her then.
All right, so
And
Ren.
Ren kicks it.
All right, you guys head out. The caravan's still kind of creaking along behind you
Yeah.
guys.
Mist is floating up higher, and she's just watching them now.
So
They're
it takes the
various-
two of you like the better part of an hour to go completely out of sight because it is the desert.
Yeah. Did
Uh,
anything
Weird
weird happen?
Well, Bran, make a perception check.
Bran
my
is
God.
making a perception check. Bran forgot to open his goddamn character sheet.
Good.
Oh my god.
I thought I had it open. Apparently,
You had how long?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm off my game tonight.
So dang, Ninny, I just looked at your naturalist feat, and that's cool.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. All right, Bran,
Hey.
you hear a noise coming from behind you, and you turn and look, and there are Ren and Laffy rolling up behind you on this spectral horse.
Bran just sort of like, he stares at them for a second with like just a completely passive face.
Yeah,
He's like,
Mist,
oh, hello there.
Mist is like, you're out of sight! Oh, wait. What?
Ren like opens her mouth and then closes her mouth and then.
Right,
Well-
cursed desert that we can't leave from. Wonderful.
We know
Remind
what
me
it does now!
Remind
Isn't
me
that
to
exciting?
Kick Aurelian's ass the next time I see him.
Laffy is like, Laffy points in a different direction, and she's like, maybe if we go in a different way.
The while you guys are deliberating this, the caravan leader walks up to you guys, and he's holding like a lantern on a large pole, and he looks at you guys and, what is it you're doing?
Running.
Is that something that dispels this magical fog over the sand?
Oh, sort of, yes. It essentially, it clears the way, and he swings it around a few times, and as he does so, the light on it pulses, and then it lights up when he's facing a specific direction with it, and this is how we know which way to go to not fall prey to the mists.
Ah,
You
so...
would happen to have more than one
How
of
did
those,
you-
would you?
Oh yes, we have many, one on each wagon.
Good, well, I
Where
know
did
that
you get
Aurelian
the-
sent us in prepared.
These are new. Many arcanists from the remnants of Sildarai are making them now.
So
Yeah.
Silurai finally got starting to come together again.
Oh yes, not many, but the craftsmen are returning, and it used to be
What-
that the magics were too strong, but now they are weak enough for us to use these.
What's the spell on them?
You would
Mist
have
is
to,
looking it over with Eldritch
Okay,
Sight too.
Mist, you would have to spend about an hour studying it to like pick apart the spell. But the guy is just, I do not know the name of the spell. I simply know that it works.
Laffy's squinting at this guy because his accent changed.
Yeah.
Was it something we were supposed to notice? Or?
Yeah.
No, I'm just giving Max massive shit.
I mean, you don't know if it was supposed to or not.
DM trying to cover that.
Laffy's gonna make a perception check to see if it's the same.
Okay.
Oh my god.
20.
I mean,
Sure.
it's the same guy, but I mean, he's acting a little nervously.
Yeah.
What?
So what spell of magic is the thing? Because I think she would be able to tell that, right? Unless
It is a
it's-
divination spell.
Okay. Okay, so Mist is like, and does she see like the fog stuff clearing out, or is it still there?
It's still there, but while you're using like Eldritch Sight, you do notice that as he passes it over, it's sort of like a maze. Like when he passes it over, a small, not a small, but like a passageway is revealed between the
Huh.
mists.
Yeah, Mist is like, oh, interesting.
He says, yes, this does go away when we get a little farther in. It is just simply around the canyon.
Hmm. So there's maze around the canyon. That's interesting. Well, that's good to know.
No, it's not good to know because suddenly we are actually beholden to these people and we're not paying, and they're not paying us.
Fair.
And
Well, I
Ren
mean,
gets
it's still
off-
good to know.
I feel like we should take this up with Aurelian when we go back. Like, hey. Okay.
We'll have a nice talk, he and I.
Would I be able to study one of these while we're going?
Oh, certainly, we do not need all of them.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, he walks over to one of the wagons and unhooks it and brings it back to you. The lantern. Just make sure you do not break it. We will charge you if you break. Ha.
I will do my best.
Ha.
Brand's mutters to himself, and I'll remember to charge you if I have to save your goddamn life in a little bit.
He just looks at you and walks away. So, Mist, you're gonna sit down and start. Well, not sit down. You're gonna be studying it while they walk.
Yeah, she's hovering, studying this thing.
Okay.
Ren attaches her to Saint.
Okay. So while Mist is doing that, are you guys doing anything? You're just kind of following the caravan as they go right now.
Are Ren and Luffy still on the horse?
Yeah, I mean, it
Okay.
lasts for like, yeah.
It lasts for a good while.
It's like an hour.
Cool. I just wanted to know the state of Luffy's butt. Like, if it was walking or if it was on a
The
horse.
important questions, the state
okay.
of Luffy's butt.
Yeah. So yeah, are you guys doing anything while Mist is observing?
Nope. Ren is satisfied with her singular jaunt into the mystery desert.
Brand's a little
Luffy
bit
is
more.
looking listless because they're in a mystery desert.
Yeah.
Brand looks
This
like he
thinks
is.
it's great.
Brand's like a mix of this is neat and interesting, but he's also annoyed that Aurelian did not give them like all the preparations they would need first, but he's also suspicious of the caravan. He's kind of like watching them a bit more closely now.
Yeah, Ren is various layers of fuck.
Brand thinks the
wondering-
desert's pretty cool though.
Actually, Luffy's gonna do something. Can she see the caravan driver?
Yeah.
Or the guy? She's gonna see if she can read his lips.
Okay.
At any point.
Well, he spends the majority of the thing not saying much, but occasionally he does lean over to somebody and he says, he asks if they are sure that they're going in the right direction, and the other person says yes, and to be patient. And then the other guy asks, when is this supposed to open up? And you see the person he's talking to sort of shrug.
No. Luffy doesn't share any of this because it's innocuous.
Yeah. Okay. Mist, after about an hour, you're able to discern that this is a modified Zone of Truth spell.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it extends a little farther than normal, but when you put the lantern over any sort of magical enchantment, it will show you the way around it, basically, if there is a way around it. In this case, it is the maze. So this is... The way they're using it shows that there is this magical wall of mist on each side except for the path that they are taking.
Yeah, Mist shares this with telepathy to everybody else.
Is
Does that
Nenia
include Nenia?
Yeah.
I don't know if it includes Nanny. I don't think it does, because she's a little more suspicious of this group now too. Including Nenia, which is unfortunate 'cause she's adorable, but
After Mist reveals that, Ren hops off the horse She goes looking for Nania.
Does the horse just stop?
Technically.
I want to say,
Luffy's just on the
what I'm
stopped
really
horse.
hoping is that it just like poofs from existence
From
and Luffy just
existence.
falls on her ass.
Oh no!
Yeah, that one's up to
Does
you.
it?
That one's up to you.
Sure.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right.
Oh
Yeah,
sure.
She wasn't thinking about it. She hops off the horse and then it poofs and she's like, oh.
Fluffy hits the ground and grabs Ren as she's going.
Dragging the
gonna-
gremlin with her.
Red just keeps walking, dragging Luffy. Oh
All right, yeah, Luffy, you carve a nice path in the sand.
Mist
The-
probably sees this and cracks.
The whole
stops,
caravan is probably
she
staring
turns
at
around.
them.
Yeah.
She stops, turns around, like picks Flappy up onto the armpits and sets her on her feet.
Fluffy's like, please don't do that. I don't like to be made to feel smaller than I am.
Fuck you.
Maybe you should get larger. And just casually turns around.
That was rude.
Wow.
I mean, you're welcome to come with me if you like, though.
Yeah, I mean, I always do. So where are we going?
We're going to find that, what was her name?
Nenia?
Right, okay. We're gonna find her and see if she knows anything.
Okay,
You
you
can
can
get grilled.
you can do the asking.
Mist,
I mean,
Mist
I was
just is
tending-
like, you know, I kind of want to go with you.
I mean, you're more than welcome, but I feel like she's going to be very intimidated by, at least one of us.
Well,
Especially
I
if-
have been talking with her for the good part of a while.
Fluffy takes off her mask and her horrible face beneath is there.
Friend looks at Laffy. I don't know if that's going to help, but...
Fluffy
Well,
smiles.
If you want to, leave your thing on. I want to hear.
Well, I mean, you can come along. I don't mind, especially if she's more comfortable with you.
I mean, I don't know if she's comfortable with me. I've just been talking with her.
Yeah, if
I mean-
anything, like, Bran's probably been hanging out around, like, Mist and Nenia as well while they've been walking.
Saint's been hanging out too.
Fluffy's like, alright, I'm bored of sitting here talking to Nenia, so I'm gonna go find her and start asking questions if you
I mean-
guys don't.
I mean, we were walking. But
Walk faster. Your long legs will carry you.
Ren outpaces her. attempting
Okay,
to-
but can she?
I don't know.
I feel like the gremlin's got those little, like, blurry, fast legs. She just,
Yeah, Fluffy starts skittering.
Excellent approach.
Ren's just like stomping along and Laffy's like skittering along trying to keep up.
If Mist is still tied to Saint, she's just like, go follow them, Saint.
And like that's
And
how,
the
that's
boys
how
are
they
back in
come up.
town. Yeah, the
Yeah.
boys are back in town is playing in the background.
Saint just kind of he goes off after them, and Mist, you were still tied to him.
Yeah,
So you're being dragged with him.
yeah, no, that's what she wanted.
Yeah, in fact, Saint looks like he's like playing now. Like he's chasing after you, Luffy, like nipping at your heels.
doesn't know what's going on. He's
Yeah.
excited.
He's like,
Yeah.
stop, you're too big.
He's very stimulated. He's running around. He's barking loudly. Eventually, Mist, he takes you and he sprints off towards Nenia.
Yeah.
He's just gonna look over and see this fucking
Did they
train
both
walking
pass
towards you.
Laffy and Red?
Oh yeah.
Ren looks at Laffy,
Cracking up.
looks after Mist and the dog and Saint, and then starts running like he's daft.
Bran's like,
It's a challenge now.
Bran's behind them all, but he's like keeping up, but also kind of staying behind them. He's just making sure that this doesn't turn into a disaster.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. Yeah. Luffy, are you sprinting too?
No, Laffy
Okay.
has realized that this has gotten stupid, and she wants to see exactly how stupid it's gonna get.
All right. Ren,
Yeah.
make an athletics check.
Oh god.
What is happening?
Okay.
Oh
And
no.
Well, you're in luck. As you're running, Saint turns and he sees you, and you see the doggy competition enter his eyes. He's like, "It's on."
Oh,
And
no.
he does that thing where he gets low to the ground and just starts pounding sand. Literally, just these gouts of sand are shooting up behind him. Mist, you're getting pelted with sand. And then he trips.
Oh no!
And like his legs get caught up under him, and he just falls and hits the sand and slides for a good 10 feet.
Does he slide into Nenia?
Yeah, actually, he slides and stops right in front of you, Nenia.
It's like, oh no, Saint, are you okay?
He's just kind of lying there, breathing heavily.
Poor baby, and she'll kneel down and check him, make sure he's okay. and
He
pet
wags his
head.
tail against the sand a few times, but he doesn't get up.
Oh.
Brand, what did you do to our dog? Brand has caught him.
Rude. I didn't do anything. He did that all on his own. And Ren kneels down, like pats his head, and is like, "Good job."
He's just still laying there on his side, wagging his tail against the sand. He feels doggy shame.
Oh.
He fell in front of his new person.
Oh no.
He was trying to impress her. Look what you guys did.
Oh.
While she's doning and petting, and are you okay, poor baby? And just gonna dust herself off as soon as the group comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mist is just like, I know I asked you before about these temples and such, but do you know anything about where we're going?
By the way, Miss, you're kind of like slightly sideways.
Yeah, that's fine. I
Okay.
feel like she can sort of rotate, but
nothing
she's
wrong
just
here.
she doesn't care.
Well, you've got like the
She's
baby
upside
leash
down
tied to
and
you.
fine.
So yeah,
Yeah.
if you try and go straight up, the baby leash is too tight for you to lean all the way back up. So you're just kind of at an angle.
She'd be fine
What
upside
if Ren's
down
not?
too. It's whatever.
Nania's
yeah.
like tilting her head to keep eye contact with Miss.
Oh my god!
That's the right to do.
Must be polite.
Gosh.
I don't. They said
You
that they're
don't?
just going on their journey, and might be.
Mist,
I just
Mist,
thought it'd be good to follow them.
Mist is gonna fucking perception or insight check Nenias. I mean, she doesn't think she'd be lying, but what if she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right? She doesn't know Nenia. God.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Nitty's got something to hide.
14.
What can I roll? Or
You don't need
It's-
to roll anything because
Because you're not being deceptive, right?
yeah, unless you're not telling the truth. But
no.
yeah, you are. So yeah, in fact, Miss, take like 1 point of psychic damage because Nenia is so pure
What the fuck?
that you're just
Oh,
like,
okay.
how? No,
Is
I'm,
that from
I'm,
Nenia, though?
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, because then Nenia would take psychic.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
They
But
both
how-
just reel back, holding their
How
They-
dare
they-
you
What
question?
just happened? How dare Mist question?
Yeah.
Really?
No, you're
I'm
like,
sorry,
you're
I'm
pretty
sorry.
sure that Nenia is telling the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, I mean, she thought it was a long shot, but listen, she never knows.
Ren
Like-
kind of folds her arms, like kind of judgmentally at Nenia, and she's like, "So you don't know that without one of those lamps, you'd be permanently lost in the magical mist of this desert because it's a maze."
Did she know that beforehand? I don't think so.
No.
I actually didn't know that. So that's a delightful
Well,
surprise, huh?
To be fair, we didn't either.
Yeah.
Did you just call that a delightful surprise?
I mean,
Are you being sarcastic? That's horrible.
surprises are interesting at times.
I think you found a
And-
kindred spirit.
Excellent.
And without one of those lanterns, you'd be. How much water do you have?
Water.
Let us know if you need it. We have plenty.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Well, I guess.
sorry.
But you know what? At least I got one of the lamps, so if they do anything weird, we've got one.
Fluffy looks at Nenia and her eyes narrow and she's just like, maybe it's for best that you stay near us because you know, baby dear girl, I'm afraid that you're going to get separated from the group in some sort of horrible raid. And I think you're gonna die if you do, so just, just stay within eye shot.
Of course, it's gonna stay with the supplies in the caravan. Be alright.
No, more than an hour.
Yeah,
We
all
possess
of
the
our
skill
eyes.
to keep people like you alive.
And Nenia, here's the thing, right?
In the form
They
of
didn't
killing
tell us this at the beginning. It's kind of, a little bit sketchy. We
I mean,
don't.
neither did Aurelian, to be perfectly fair.
Yeah, true, but at the same time,
At least we can
Just-
trust Aurelian to be Aurelian.
yeah. Either way,
There's one constant in the universe.
if you don't know much about these people, it would be. I mean, you don't know much about us either, I guess, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
but Fluffy's like, yeah, but can those people do this? And she takes out her whip and she just cracks it.
I think what the gremlin there is trying to say is we're very trustworthy folk, really.
We told you about the mystery maze that would inevitably result in your dehydration and eventual death had you wandered into
Look,
it
we're
alone.
we're not trying to tell you to be suspicious of the caravan, but we're telling you to be suspicious of the caravan.
Alright, oh.
Thank you, Brad.
You are so dreadfully polite. It's good. But yeah, keep your eyes and ears out for anything they might be saying. It's kind of odd.
Besides, our
Oh,
dog
right.
seems to have taken a shine to you, so now we're obliged to watch your back. And she looks down at Saint.
Saint rolls over and gets to his feet and looks like he's about to shake himself off, but looks around and realizes he's around people, so he doesn't.
Yeah,
Brett
if I
presses
feel
vegetation the sand out of his fur.
Then he shakes because he has to fluff out his fur once it's clean.
Yeah.
And then he pads up next to Nenia and just like stands by her, like just kind of driving home. The whole dog's taking a shine to her.
I'll give him head pats as like a silent thank you for liking her. Well,
Fluffy just watches semi-despondently.
Oh no, she lost her friend.
Saint looks at you, Laffy, and just kind of like whines and walks over to you and headbutts you hard enough in the leg that you almost fall over.
Fluffy sighs and she walks back to Nenia and then she like points for Saint to stand between them.
He wags his tail and does just that.
Look at that, we're all getting along already.
Yeah, we should probably catch up to them.
Yeah, I mean, something horrible might befall them without us, and by that I mean something horrible might befall us without a lamp. Oh wait, no.
Well, I have one right here.
Here's a thought. None of the people from the caravan are within earshot of them, right?
No,
I'm
they're
guessing they kept going.
they're you know
You said they
not
have
yeah.
you said they had a caravan full of supplies. Do you know what's in it?
Nania, you know it's just supplies, like food, water.
Oh, it's just standard, herbs, medicine, water. Just keep us going through the desert.
Well, if you'll show, that's all. I was going to have this one, he, like, elbows Ren in the ribs. I was going to have this one
thank
sneak
you.
into the caravan and look over it for us, but if you'll show...
Don't just say that.
I mean, I can if you like.
You know, I mean, I can look over it for any more strange, magical stuff.
And Ren is already like disappearing into the desert.
Guys! Guys!
She likes
Well-
being sneaky, okay?
Luffy's like, oh my god, she
Bran is fully aware that he's enabled her.
Luffy's like, can we just, like, I know that we dealt with, like, a really stressful, traumatic time, but can't we just let, like, a caravan be a caravan and worry about people trying to kill us when they try to kill us?
Mist holds up the lantern and grins.
Well, they did give us the lantern, so I suppose there's that.
It is. Eh.
I hate this.
I'm sure it'll be alright. They're just explorers.
Okay, so that's
All right.
technically a 23.
Ren, you somehow hide in the desert.
Ren just burrows into the sand.
Yeah.
It's like Bugs Bunny.
No, you guys remember how everyone joked about Ren almost being a werewolf? Well,
Oh my god.
Ren digs a sick hole.
He's learned from Julian.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I'm just
She
imagining
would've
Ren
been a
hiding
werewolf.
behind. I'm just imagining Ren hiding behind various people in caravans, like Kronk and the Emperor's New Grooves, singing their own theme music.
All the people in the caravan look at her like she's crazy.
No, none of them see her actually. Weirdly enough.
They just, it's like, they know it's there, but they don't want to look at it and acknowledge it.
No, it's one of those things where, like in this case, she's doing that thing where every time someone turns around to look at her, she turns with them.
Oh my god.
But she's managing to do it with everybody, so it's like some Matrix shit.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Uh,
She
maybe
she
she'll-
sneaks into the caravan.
Maybe she'll
Okay.
turn up something interesting.
Alright, Ren, are you scouting around then?
Yeah.
Alright,
Sure.
So, as you're moving through them, you do see that there are 3 caravans full of what look like supplies.
Okay.
And then you do walk past a few that sound like they have people in them. There's one that's kind of like jangling a lot. It sounds like there's like bottles and stuff in there.
Probably water. Okay.
But yeah, it's, that's all. You hear people talking. It's kind of shooting the shit. It's hot.
It is. Yeah, I can't tell, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, yeah, Ren, you're not sweating, are you?
No.
Yeah.
Famously never sweating.
Yeah. Okay, so you looking for anything in particular here, or?
Anything that would be out of place in like like obviously like supplies and shit, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But like, is there anything like, are there armed people, or were they literally just picking up random, like relying on luck to pick up random ass adventurers?
Okay. Perception check for this one.
Of course.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
I mean, you see people in armor, but
Okay.
Or at least you think it's armor. You're like, I don't know what that is. Is that just a heavy person? Like, what's going on here?
Okay. All right.
She's not sweating, but like the pseudo rot is.
Yeah, she's got to worry about like smelling at this point.
She's
Yeah,
more
well-
concerned about this.
She's really hoping the heat gets hot enough without being moist enough that she just starts to desiccate.
My God.
Like that's what she's like inwardly hoping. She won't have to worry about the whole rotting thing.
Jesus.
She's
all right.
thinking about that while she's going.
Well, while you
know.
guys are going, the sun is beginning to set. You've been traveling for most of the day now. You guys are in the middle of the fucking desert. When you look behind you, kind of in the direction you came, you do see the big canyon that you came through. It is pretty far away now. Judging off of that, you went pretty far. You have no way of really gauging or knowing where your destination is, but you feel alright about it. The sun is going down and the temperature is dropping. Some of the caravanners are pulling out big, thick woolen blankets.
How many of them are there?
All total, there's about 15.
Okay.
And yeah, some of them are pulling out these thick woolen blankets and are looking like they're setting up watch, while other ones are crawling into, or the rest are crawling into their wagons. And finally one of them peeks out at you guys and, I hope you have a place to sleep tonight. It is going to be very cold.
Oh, I'm sure we can find something.
Excellent. Nenia, do you have a place to sleep?
Yeah, she's coming with us.
Oh.
And Luffy looks at the person and she's like, there's gonna be a door. If there's any trouble, just, knock on it a whole lot.
Or
Yeah.
yell into it,
Oh.
whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, alright.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
Well,
you're about to have fairly decent accommodations in an empty desert.
We travel
Luffy-
in style.
Luffy looks at Nenia and she's like, describe to me your ideal room.
That would do.
A fluffy, firm.
Colors, what do you want the walls to look like?
Books, a fireplace, furs.
Oh, that's extravagant. You can do all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic.
Oh, fluffy, that would be nice, and if that's okay. And, a window? Could you make windows to look out? Or
I can. What do you want the outside to look like?
oh, gracious. Never mind. That's a lot.
Oh god, I love her.
Just make it look like a nice forest or something. She seems like the foresty type.
Well, I did grow up in a forest. Well, not actually a forest, in a hamlet, but I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I don't want to trouble you, but I just need a place to sleep.
Go nuts.
It's no
with
trouble.
Luffy.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh, I love her.
What Luffy winds up doing is like she makes like a really cute like cottage room, like it's very like fairy tale prairie shit, like floral patterns on the rugs and like little lace on the bed, like that unnecessary hangover part.
The sham.
And like the walls are all like a pale blue, like that's what it winds up looking like. And but like Nenia doesn't see it yet, but she opens up the mansion and there's a fucking door and she opens the door and she's like, all right, kid, get on in.
All right, thank you.
And it opens up into an extravagant mansion.
Yeah.
Gracious, this is amazing.
Yeah, we stole this from the corpse of a dead archmage.
Ah,
To be
not
fair, she was trying to destroy that plane with demons. So
I mean, I'm not trying to see.
We don't just
the
go-
person stole it, but we kind of did steal.
I mean, we repurposed it, really.
She
What
has-
else was it gonna do? Sit
She had
inside the dead.
she tried to
not
burn
so
Sigil
dead
down.
cat.
She had it coming.
And she looks at the not so dead cat on the table somewhere.
Polka Dot screams.
Brand just makes this he just looks at it and he has this look of existential something on his face. He's like, he sighs, like, I'm going to my room.
Polka Dot. She does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, if
Oh, poor thing, and she'll like go over to it. Is it alright?
we don't,
Here ran from like a hallway. It's taxidermied. They brought it back to life.
Gracious, poor thing.
I mean,
She
you
doesn't
give
know
her.
how to put it.
I mean, if you're a skilled surgeon, you could theoretically remove its stuffing and then put,
Put what?
I don't know,
Bran's
some
back?
bone,
What?
some bones
Muscle and
back in it,
bone? Oh
maybe.
yeah, you know, we got plenty of that line.
We need to wire a skeleton, Luffy.
I mean, and Ren reaches for the forbidden bag.
Oh no!
no! Ren, no!
Alright,
Ren
Oh my
alright!
pulls out the forbidden bag, and she's like, "We could just, repurpose something from this. I'm sure it
No,
wouldn't mind."
No, no. We are going to have a nice night in front of our nice guest and not do anything too strange.
Well, I mean, the cat's probably already set a bad precedent for that, don't you think?
I mean, maybe, but still, Polka Dot is nice. She's a good cat.
Ren
sure.
reluctantly puts the forbidden bag away. Oh, now.
I forgot about
Yeah.
it. It took me a second to remember what it
Yeah,
was.
I actually don't remember it. What is it?
It's a
Oh
bag
my
of
God.
tricks
Yeah.
Oh, the bag of tricks.
that you guys used once.
Right.
Accidentally
It was-
fed
it
a-
was the worst. It
Yeah,
was the worst thing we ever did.
accidentally fed a fake dog to a wyvern, and we're like, never again.
Mist is gonna look at Ren and can she make, like, I don't know, what check this would be? A check to see if Ren's gonna do the thing later when everyone's sleeping, because that's what she thinks
I mean-
happened.
Ren would consider it, but then she remembers that they're temporary animals, and then it would be a temporary fix, and she wants a permanent fix. So she's probably gonna start looking for like dead lizards or something.
Hold on. I want everyone to think about the logistics of that.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm thinking about the logistics of it right now, and I have a couple of questions.
Like, that cat would just deflate after,
I
like,
know!
a
that's-
few hours.
You know, here's a thought. Laffy, aren't you like a necromancer or something? Why don't you just pull an animal out of the bag of tricks and move its soul into that?
I ain't about that life anymore.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
then the cat's going to stay a half alive, miserable cat statue then.
Fluffy
We're
looks
going
at
to figure it
Nenia.
out.
Fluffy looks at Nenia and she's like, right, so, ignore the cat. If you're hungry, just go to the kitchen, and Fluffy, like, points in a direction where the kitchen probably is just, she made the kitchen real easy to find. And she's like, and just say what you want and it'll happen.
Right. Okay.
Saint,
Like-
as if demonstrating it, walks over to a bowl that was made specifically for him,
Yeah, it
barks.
says his name.
Yeah, he barks, and there is, like, steak.
Amazing.
Yeah, we don't
Right,
know
isn't
where
it?
it comes from. But it's food, so.
Magic.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Right. Well, thank you so much. This is.
It's a lot
It's
nicer
okay.
sleeping outside in the desert.
Yeah, of course.
Nafi, might want to show her where the room is.
You can find it. If you just walk and you think about finding your room, you'll find the room.
Oh, is that how it works?
Ah,
How did I get lost in here?
What are you looking for?
I don't know. Maybe that's why.
You just answered your own question. How about that?
Right? Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna go meditate.
Yeah, I'm
You know
gonna
what,
go
I'll take a
meditate
first
too,
watch.
and by meditate I mean sleep.
Oh wait, right. So we're watching outside, are we?
I mean, I'm gonna sit outside the door and then
Fluffy's
watch.
like.
well, I mean,
Fluffy
I can
before-
do that too because you need to sleep.
Before Ren goes, Laffy's gonna smell Ren.
Okay.
I mean, she smelled like Ren.
Laffy is like, what deodorant are you using?
It's called Eau de Rennes.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Finley gave it to me. You know, after
Who?
her Finley.
Oh man,
She's good
I'm
at-
gonna have
good
to.
Picking out that sort of thing.
Sea
Yeah, I'm
salt and
gonna-
apple pie.
I'm gonna have to talk to Finley once we like go visit because, man, like we've been walking through the deserts and you're not even like grody smelling. Anyway,
I know,
just
right? It's amazing.
remember to take a bath when you come back. I don't want to smell you as we're walking. And Laffy goes to her room.
Miss tilts her head, looks at Ren. So
Ren
Finley gave you something to not sweat all over.
No, I mean she gave me deodorant to not sweat all over, but I've got a. And she pats the cloak, temperature regulating cloak. Remember? And she walks out the door.
Yeah, I do remember. Mist is just watching Ren, like.
Okay.
So did we all just like
Yeah, she's-
abandon Ninia in like the entrance to this mansion? It's like, if you just think really hard about your room and you'll find it. Good
No,
night.
Mist is still there, but you know she's now good with directions.
What the fuck else is Laffy gonna do other than be weird? Like, what kind of question is that?
Okay.
Yeah, Mist is like, I'm gonna go out and watch too. Are you alright to finding your room?
Well, if it's as, if you can call it simple as thinking of it, I think I'll be alright, but could I help watch too, to make up for your hospitality later?
Oh gosh, you know what? If you want to, but you know, I don't actually sleep, so I can kind of watch all the time. You don't really have to.
And
It's a
I
weird
mean-
elf thing.
maybe keep you company. But,
Well, if you like, but also if you want to enjoy the night, you are more than free because it's really great here.
thank you. And she is awkward, shuffling. She has more to say and probably says thank you a couple more times. And
Oh my god.
Just hear thank you, just like echoing down the hall.
Well, and then she like debates taking off her shoes at the door, and
Oh my
that's gonna
god.
take too much time, so she just like dips her head and goes to find her room for the night, and is absolutely amazed by this beautiful little cottage, and has words for the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, Mist goes out to watch with Ren.
All right. Is there anything happen between you two?
Ren stands there awkwardly silent.
Mist is using Eldritch Sight on Ren.
She detects as completely non-magical.
Yeah. Mist tilts her head. And she's like, Ren, are you sure
Yeah.
there's a spell on your
Yeah.
cloak?
Yeah, and it's being concealed by Nistel's magic aura.
But I
You
would
know.
see that.
That's because it's not something that you see.
Hold on a
Specifically. Do you have any idea how many people asked me about magic items in Ardor? Oh, it was awful. So I learned a spell to conceal magic auras.
Mist is
Specifically.
insight checking the fuck out of it.
I mean, it's technically true.
Yeah.
And I'm also curious, would Mist not be able to see the
Nope.
thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Nistel's magic aura. False aura. You change the way the target appears to spell a magical effect, such as detect magic that detect magical auras.
Wait, what? I'm gonna look this up too.
You can mask. Yeah, you can just straight up turn off magical auras.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a spell, but yeah.
It's a spell you can't see.
Yep.
Yep. Alright, she's still insight checking though, because
I mean, she
Like,
can insight
why?
check. She's not lying.
And at this point, Ren, I think it's safe to say that she's done it for 30 days straight, so the cloak is just... or whatever you're using is just permanently has the aura
Yeah.
on it at this point. I don't know what you're actually using to keep it going, but yeah.
I don't know. Something. Probably the. What does she always carry on her? It's a good question. We're gonna say a signet ring with her family sigil.
Okay. Yeah, you've enchanted it 30 days, so at this point it's permanent until you turn it
Yeah.
off.
Sounds good.
Alright, so Miss is like, so do you have this like on all of you?
Yeah.
Is it just on the cloak?
No, it's on all of me, because otherwise, my daggers would show up.
Yeah.
Glasses would show up. Yeah, no, it's on all of me.
So you cast this on yourself?
Uh-huh.
I'd almost be tempted to do that, but then no one would be able to tell me what my weird void thing looks like.
It's pretty handy. Unfortunately, can't really jot it down for you.
No, I could probably find it eventually.
Yeah.
So a cooling spell, that would be... You know what? Never mind.
Okay. So the night passes. Ren, do you go lay down at any point just to keep Mist off the trail?
Yeah, she does. She
Okay.
goes in like a standard 4-hour watch and goes to quote-unquote sleep.
Okay.
Like the humans do.
Yeah.
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 Hello, fellow
I'm gonna
mortals.
I'm gonna lay down for a nice human nap.
My human bed.
Yeah. Alright, so the morning arrives and you guys all shuffle out, bleary-eyed.
Mist goes back in at some point, and totally eats and stuff. Once she gets... Wait, does it get cold? Does it really get cold out there?
In the desert? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It goes
Okay.
freezing, below freezing even.
Deserts
Alright.
get super cold at night.
Yeah, they have no way to retain heat.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because Mist was out there watching.
Yeah, no, it got cold as fuck. You probably had to go inside and stare out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's morning. Everyone's kind of bleary-eyed. You guys shuffle out.
Brad has probably gone into the kitchen and got a big gulp-sized cup of coffee.
Can things in the manor be taken out though?
No.
Oh, well, he finished it before he left.
Okay. I just imagine Bran going out with a cup of coffee and it fucking vanishes.
Motherfucker!
Just quickly runs
Luffy!
back in.
Luffy, open it back up. I need my coffee.
I'm not gonna go a day with you people without a coffee.
Okay, so you guys all pile out of the mansion. It seals up behind you. At this point, you can see that all of the lanterns are put away, and the caravan is starting to move again, and they look at you and go, "Oh, good morning," and they start trundling off. The lanterns are put away, though.
Yeah, Mist is looking again to see... Can she see that magical stuff over the sand? still?
No, it is now gone. When you look behind you, it is
Yeah.
there behind you, but in front of you, it's not there.
Yeah, Mist...
I think I just semi-disconnected, so I
Oh,
missed
shit.
everything.
Okay, yeah,
It's-
you guys just left your mansion. The caravan started leaving, and you don't. They all have their lanterns away, and Mist isn't seeing any of that magical mist in front. You can still see it behind you, but not in front of you.
Huh,
Yeah,
neat.
Mist tells everybody this. She's like, well, it seems we've passed through the sort of magic fog over the sand, anyway.
Fluffy's gonna peer at the horizon and see if she sees anything.
Alright, perception.
24.
You sorry. You think you see something shimmering in the distance, but you can't tell what.
Fluffy just keeps that information to herself.
Okay.
Is is there anything else oddly magical around? Because I mean, they don't really have anything to do aside from looking around. So.
Not really. So you guys head out. You're trundling through the desert. Um, I need you, Luffy, to make a nature check.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Actually,
boy.
survival check.
Oh shit.
Boy. I probably should have put more into survival than I did. 5.
Oh no.
Okay. As you're going, you notice like a moment too late, a small pit in the sand, and one of the caravan wheels dips into it, and the caravan comes to a halt. And you guys have to spend or they have to spend like 45 minutes digging the wagon out.
You- Hmm. Okay.
I mean, you could reduce that length of time if you want to help.
Yeah, Mist is thinking about helping.
Okay.
She's like, should I help with that?
Mist starts helping, and Luffy's like, "Oh my god,
No.
Mist, you're so weak and so Luffy."
No. Mist said, should she help with that?
And then it goes to help.
Okay.
She's like, I probably should. So, she might. Yeah, she might do a thing where she's lifting it. Or, you know what? She might, like, try to put, what is it? That fucking Tensor's... Can she get Tensor's floating disc underneath the wheel?
With enough
Like, would she be able to
maneuvering,
do that?
make a concentration saving throw.
Oh gosh. Is this like a spell thing?
I mean, I'm making you do it because it is a precise motion, so you have to, like, actively try to get the spell under it.
Okay, I was wondering if, like, the stuff or that had anything to do with it, but...
No,
Ren is
No!
Ren is watching.
Unless I get advantage
No, you-
from my feet, then
No.
I don't know.
no, you don't
Alright.
get advantage. You try, and the disc just kind of, like, hits the sand diagonally and sticks out like an Oreo sticking out of ice cream.
Yeah, it's just like, God, hells.
Ren,
Well, I could do something else. I didn't really want to.
while this is going on, and Ren just makes a wait, like gesture at Mist, and she peeks in one of the supply wagons.
Okay.
Are there any were there any wooden crates?
Make a perception. Actually, investigation.
Yay!
I forgot investigation was a thing for a second.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, there's a few wooden crates. You also see, like, some shovels.
She grabs a shovel, but she prizes up the lid and takes one of the lids of the wooden crates.
Okay.
And she comes back
Okay.
and she gets them. She sets the wooden lid
Mhm.
like you would in under a tire
Okay,
that's
yeah.
stuck in like mud kind
Mhm.
of thing. And then she gets she tries to get them to help push it
Okay.
instead of getting stuck in more sand.
Okay.
Good well.
So between everyone's help, you reduce the time to, like, a solid 15 minutes instead of 45. They thank you guys pretty profusely. Like, they seem genuinely grateful. Everyone's really hot and nasty. At some point... At some point, it's midday-ish, and everyone stops to, start eating. They start passing out some cheeses, some hard meats, just non-perishable sort of things. And they walk over with a small basket for you guys and offer it out.
We don't really need this, do we?
No, keep your supplies. But thank you.
The young woman that had brought it over just smiles, nods, and takes it back. So with midday past, everyone starts packing up again, and you guys head off. As the sun begins to set, I need someone to make a nature check now.
Me.
Alright.
Let's let the ranger do the name.
All right.
22.
Okay.
Hey.
In the distance, you do hear some noise that sounds like it might be creatures that you don't necessarily want. It might be like wolves, maybe hyenas. You don't actually know exactly what it is, but you know it doesn't sound great. So you do warn other people, and they nod, and as camp is set, you see that they place a handful of torches around the camp this night, and they do station about 5 people with not armor, but they look armed.
Okay.
Looks like watch is actually being put out for the night instead. Do you guys head back into the mansion? Which of you sits watch or tries to help out with
Luffy
this?
is gonna sit watch. but
Yeah,
she's gonna
Mist is
lead
gonna
it.
too.
Bran probably
Ren's
will as
also
well.
gonna.
So,
Yeah,
so they're all just gonna sit watch.
We're all gonna sit watch.
I mean, the mansion's there if they want to run into it, but you know.
Nenny, are you sitting with them?
Yeah, she's not going to invade their home.
Peer pressure.
so they're not
Okay, so you guys, are you guys
We
going
set up a little
to?
campfire.
Are you guys going to sleep at any point?
I mean, Mist could
Ren's
meditate and
not.
watch at the same time.
Bran,
so-
Luffy, and Nenia, are you going to sleep at
Bran-
any point?
Bran will probably
Yes.
take like just enough rest to get like a long rest. But
Yeah,
Okay.
Nania too.
Okay. So between you three,
Luffy
you do.
only sleeps because she has a feeling Nenia won't go into the mansion unless she does.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the next morning comes. Luffy, go ahead and make your perception check again.
Okay. 20.
You do see something else. You see something in the distance now, and as you're a little closer to it, you see it might be like a really tall tree.
Hmm.
And you guys head out again for the day. Hold on, I gotta pull up a character sheet so I can see skills. So I forgot them.
God.
Listen, it's hard to keep track of all of the skills.
Fair.
All of the skills.
Yeah. I need someone to make an animal handling check.
Oh my god. No one wants to do it.
I mean, Ren could make an attempt.
I mean,
But you don't want that.
I could attempt.
Nenia should do it.
Or Nenia could do it.
Anyone with decent wisdom should do it.
I think the 3 of you have pretty equal wisdom here, so.
Oh my god.
Luffy has a +3 to wisdom.
Well, okay. And
Yeah, she's a ranger.
Nenia, you go ahead and do it though.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Thankfully this was a low DC. So the camel in particular starts getting real ornery at some point for no real reason. It's just being cranky. And you rush forward and with your gentle temperament, calm it down to the point where it stops threatening to spit on people. And thus you guys feel like you lost some time, but not much. Welcome back. Okay, and now it's later in the day. I need somebody to make another nature check, someone.
No one wants to do this either.
oh,
I will leave that shit to the rain.
I mean, if Luffy's not gonna do it,
Do you guys want me to do it? I feel bad. I'm making so many rolls.
Stop bogarting the
That's-
rolling.
That's because you're the nature person, and these are
Yeah.
nature checks.
If something
Yeah.
naturey were to happen, you would be
Hey.
the one
Okay.
to notice it.
23.
Laffy, as it starts to get dark, you smell a telltale smell in the air, and it is the wind picking up. And in the distance, you hear like this awful whipping sound.
Oh, Laffy immediately gets excited. Not because it's a whipping sound, but because it sounds like a fight.
Oh my god.
Does she just like
Okay.
get up, like look around?
Oh, she totally does.
Okay. Are you going to alert anybody of this?
I mean, if she
Yeah,
does
Luffy's
that,
like-
Mist is like, Luffy, do you hear something?
Laffy draws her whip and makes a loud crack. Like,
Okay,
that's the alert.
Someone make a perception check.
I'll do this.
Okay.
See. 18.
Okay. You look around, and in the distance, you see this kind of like weird black or just dark splotch, kind of moving at you.
Can Mist Eldritch sight this thing too?
It's
Is it,
not
like,
magic.
Magical?
No.
Okay. Well, there's that anyway. Mist like
Luffy is,
points
like-
over there, and she's like, "What is that? You know, we should. You know that's a thing we should probably alert to everyone about."
Huh.
I
A
mean, if
weird black
Luffy,
splotch advancing on us.
if Luffy like cracked her whip, Bran probably heard it and is like, "What's going on?"
There's a thing that's coming here. It's,
The wind is
Oh,
beginning
how
to pick
wonderfully
up.
vague.
The wind
And
is
there's
beginning
wind.
to pick up, and
Did
it's just
Mist say that to the rest of the caravan?
I
noise.
mean,
Maybe
Where
we
are
should
they
tell
in
the rest of the
comparison?
caravan.
like,
to
are
follow
they?
her.
Yeah, are they like watching, or what are they doing?
They don't seem to have noticed yet.
Laffy says, "Hey, there's something up front."
Someone stops and looks, and shit, sandstorm. And people, the caravan just comes alive all of a sudden, and people start battening things down, and start piling into wagons. And you guys see that the dark splotch is a big ol' sandstorm heading your way.
Laffy puts her whip away and she's like, "Oh."
Maybe
Um,
we should.
yeah, should we
Open-
put them
open the
in
mansion,
the
Luffy.
mansion?
Yeah, the mansion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Laffy
Actually, what's gonna happen if the door gets buried in sand?
Well, I don't know.
Nothing, because everyone would get thrust out, and there's more of us than there is of sun, so it would all get dispersed.
Could you put the door up higher, perhaps?
it's coming closer.
Yeah.
Laffy is like, "What the fuck ever? Just use magic to get us out." And she opens the mansion. And
I
she
can
starts
do that.
ushering people in.
Okay. You guys pile in, and even inside of the mansion, you can hear just this awful blowing wind kind of whipping noise that sounds like it is just big, like, swirls of sand slapping against other sand. And eventually it stops. And you guys, you open up the door, and it is not buried by sand. It is a magical
Dang.
door.
Laffy has been sadly eating a ham hock because she wanted a fight, but there was just a sandstorm instead.
Okay. Cool, I guess. Sure. Okay. You pile out, and you do notice that the camp, or the caravan, is not great. But some of them are digging out their, wagons. They got pretty buried in sand in some cases. Two of the horses seemingly got away or were taken by the storm. You don't really know which.
We couldn't have taken the
Yeah.
horses into the mansion?
You didn't.
I thought
I
we would have taken everything.
I
Oh.
thought we would have taken everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you guys were just taking yourselves.
No.
Oh, okay, then yeah. I guess everything, or some of the wagons are still buried because you couldn't get the
Yeah.
wagons in.
Can't get
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, whatever they could fit. they
But
fit.
like Noah's Ark, you open the door and various animals come spilling out, very ornery. They were very confused. You get
They
this
didn't like
idea that like if you get near a horse, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Just stay away from the ponies for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
pile
mean,
out.
technically, they could have made a room like a stable for the animals because it's a magnificent.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah, one of those
retroactively make some animal handling checks?
No.
No.
Lottie
Fuck 'em.
just let the animals exist in her mansion.
Okay.
God.
So yeah, they're coming out. Everyone's safe. But people aren't too happy about having to dig out their wagons. Some of them are grumbling about like having lost goods. You do see that there are some crates that are spilled all along the sands. The
Yeah,
contents of the
this-
crates, they look like digging tools mostly,
Hmm.
like excavation sort of things.
Yeah. Miss
Uh,
looks around at everything and, like, are the wagons in there enough that they could be discerned where they are? Guessing yes.
Yeah, you can see all the wagons. They're just, buried. Excuse me. So you spend until nightfall digging those out, or they do,
I mean, Miss,
depending on if
Miss
you guys help.
could help
Yeah.
with that. She's like, I guess I'm gonna have to do it this time, aren't I? And she's gonna use telekinesis to try to get those wagons out of the sand.
All right, yeah, I guess you just lift them up out of the sand and shake them
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
I'm guessing they don't weigh more than would be a problem.
No.
I've really decided I hate deserts.
Yeah, this isn't great.
As you're kind of desanding one, sorry, a bunch of stuff falls out of the back.
Oh,
Just kind of.
sorry. I feel like this wagon's just floating up in the air. And
Yeah.
she's apologizing because the things fell out.
Some of the people are just staring at the wagon. Some are staring at the stuff in the sand, and they're just, thank you.
I mean,
Ren looks at the
technically
stuff
easy
in the
to put
sand.
things in, right? Whatever.
What was in the wagon?
Yeah.
It looked like it's mostly excavation tools.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. Yeah, it's stuff that you would use.
Once the
Yeah.
wagon is situated again, Bran will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss is just gonna keep using this. She gets out all the wagons first, and then she's continuously using. She keeps putting things away as long as the spell lasts.
Okay.
Yeah, Ren will start like investigating the sands for like all the stuff that's blown out within a like reasonable radius.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, with that cleared, night is falling, but you don't hear anything. It's kind of calm and quiet. It is once again getting real cold. So you guys pile into the mansion. Do you bring any of the people in with you, considering the state of the wagons, or?
Yeah,
mean,
Lucky lets
yeah.
people come in.
Okay. So they all come in and they're all very, very thankful. In fact, you get the idea that they're just super thankful that you guys are here in general.
Yeah, we're kind of a bit of a blessing at this point, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ren casually mentions, "I bet they regret not paying us now," and casually goes away to her room.
At this point, the caravan leader walks up to you guys and, I think we'll be arriving tomorrow, if I am correct.
Oh,
Alright.
good.
That That's good.
Lovely. Something else to look at besides sand.
Are you expecting anything in particular when we get there?
We expect nothing. We are one of the first group to come out this far.
So, how did you know about the lanterns?
Oh, some have come out to the desert, and it is... Apparently this is the spell that has been keeping people out, but it was not maze-like before. It was more just permanent. Keep you there forever.
The maze wasn't there before. That's interesting.
And some groups have already gone through, but none have gone as deep as we are. Yes, you are joining the first group to go all the way to this hidden temple.
So, how did they know a temple was out here?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll see. You will see.
Okay, Mist wants to
That's
insight check
very
this
cryptic.
guy.
Also gonna...
Okay, go ahead and insight check.
Let's see.
Can
I
Luffy
mean-
insight check him to figure out why his accent changed?
Yeah, sure.
They're all like, this guy, man. God damn it. Oh, hey,
18.
25.
Alright, Luffy, you get the sense that, like, he may not be who he originally said he is.
Oh, you. I'm just being an asshole and I got an actual answer.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mist, he is being honest. You will see.
Well, yeah. I mean,
He's not being
this
sketchy.
was-
He's being very literal from what you can tell.
Okay. Mist was more looking for, like, if he's trying to hide something from them or not.
Yeah, he's trying to hide something.
So he is trying to hide something, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mist kind of squints, but she grins. It just looks like she's pleased, to be
Luffy's
honest.
gonna take Mist to the side.
Okay. Yeah, Mist just goes with Luffy.
He's gonna be like, Mist,
Hmm.
do you still have a lantern?
I do.
Okay. Alright. I just...
What?
You keep that lantern.
Oh, I'm definitely going to.
Luffy is gonna wait till everyone is asleep, and she's gonna go. She's gonna give the caravan leader a visit in the middle of the night.
Oh my god! Well,
Okay.
at some point, Mist says with telepathy that he's definitely trying to hide something.
Luffy's like, oh, I know. And in the middle of the night, in her horrible demon guard, Luffy is going to go, and she's going to visit the caravan driver
Oh, okay.
when he's asleep.
Okay.
Ren is going to sneakily follow Laffy, but she's not actually going to interfere. in
Bran
any
is
way.
going to watch them leave, then just kind of shrug and go back to whatever he was doing.
Luffy is going to stand over his bed,
Okay.
and Luffy is going to wait for him to realize that she's there.
Oh my god! What if he
Okay,
doesn't?
he's sleeping, and then he does that thing that everyone does when they can feel they're being watched, and he cracks an eye and... Who?
Luffy
What?
leans closer.
I'm Batman.
Luffy's like, I noticed that you are trying to hide something.
Huh?
Luffy takes him by the lapel and she just jostles him a little bit.
What? What do you want?
What are you hiding?
Nothing. We are explorers going out.
Luffy is, I want to intimidate the answer out of him.
Alright, roll an intimidation check.
How much do I get towards it again?
+2 on top of your already existing modifiers.
Oh, shit. Alright. Nothing. Plus... 21.
He looks
Dang.
into your demon eyes.
Luffy
And
like has him by both his lapels and just brings him a little closer.
we are hoping to raid the temple and to sell the goods.
Luffy drops him and she's like, oh, alright. Well, I know there's like 15 of you, but we're kind of a big deal, so don't get in our way and
Huh?
you'll be fine. But we do expect some of those goods, and you're not paying us.
Okay. Yes.
I just want you to remember this, like, while you're sleeping and vulnerable. I might just have a problem.
Yes, ma'am? Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I just
okay.
no funny business. Okay.
I'm not funny
Alright.
guy.
No, you're not. And then Luffy leaves.
Did Loppy have her
Ren?
thing on for that?
Oh yeah,
like
Luffy
can
was
everyone
in full
hear?
gear. Yeah.
Ren high fives her as she comes out of the wagon. Like she's just standing there like high fiving.
Luffy high fives Ren back, and it makes that really good smack sound.
Okay.
Luffy's like, I don't understand why he hid that. I mean, look at us. Like, have you seen us? Would have been fine with it. Whatever.
Yeah, but I'm thinking probably Nina wouldn't be.
Oh, maybe.
We don't know.
And also, we were we didn't exactly raid a temple either. We were, relatively, respectful of the last one we were in, sort of.
Well, if I see them getting, too rowdy, being rowdy boys, I'll just look at the caravan driver and I'll be like, remember what I said to you in the middle of the night while you were sleeping?
Yeah, I suppose that might rein him in. Or turn him on, depending on his. Anyway.
Why not? What? I'm going.
What?
Go to your room.
You really have turned into a mother since you've been gone.
Go to your room! He just walks down the hall.
Oh, Ren gives, like, the dead cat a pat on her way by and then goes to her room.
Oh my god. Yep.
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 Or-
Well,
Yeah.
that happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so morning comes. Hooray.
Hey.
You guys head on out.
Hey.
You pile on out. It's a very bright, sunny day. Very,
Ren
very, very
pulled
hot.
on her purple glasses.
God, I forgot about those. Alright, Luffy, make a perception check.
Okay. 13.
Okay. You're kind of blinded by the sand, but so you can't really see much. But the caravan driver walks up and we should be seeing it in about 3 hours.
Alright. Let's hope no one gets too rowdy when we get there.
And then he just walks away quickly.
How strange. He seems a little intimidated.
Okay.
Mist, she's curious if she could see the thing from here, so she's just like, hold on just a moment, and she just floats up. Like she just
All right. Make a perception check.
floats up for a long time to see if she could see it.
Yeah, make a perception.
Let's see. Vathan comes too because listen.
He's a bird. It's fine.
Yeah. Nope. Shit.
No, you too. You're like, oh fuck, it's really bright.
Yeah, it's too bright.
It's just too much sun.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys head on out, and about 2.5 hours pass, and you start to see something. You do see in the distance this kind of like shimmering green tower-like structure. You're not too sure what it is at this point. You see, what look to be like a few dead trees.
Hmm.
And as you guys draw closer, the things do come into view more and more, and eventually, you come up to fuck this.
Oh.
Um,
There's an app.
yes. You do see like you guys approach, and you see like this small oasis to the south of you guys, and
Are those ducks
what?
in the map?
Yeah.
There they are.
Yep. There's just ducks in the desert.
Uh-huh.
And you can see that there is that rather tall-looking green structure that shimmers, and it towers about, I don't know, 60 feet up in the air, and it seems to be on this cracked, just kind of, it's not sand, it's this cracked rock where there are dead trees poking out of the area.
Yeah,
Mist
it's
is-
not ominous at all.
She's scanning this thing with eldritch sight. Like, man, this.
It's
you know,
hella
kinda
magic.
weird. Yeah. Okay.
But we're gonna end there for tonight.
Shit.
It's been 2 hours, and yeah, this is where combat was gonna start.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Man.
no, don't
Yeah.
say that.
You should have known.
Oh.
It's a map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
maps
thought
always
that-
end up being combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that it was theater of the mind that,
Yeah.
that you were helping
When I
us
don't-
imagine.
No. Absolutely not. Anyway, thanks for coming out, internet. We started pretty late, so that's why we're ending at about 2 hours in. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, internet.
Bye.
Bye.